Have you ever felt like a house was watching you? Not the people inside, the house itself. Tonight, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me 5 years ago. I don't expect you to believe it. Honestly, sometimes I don't believe it myself. But every night at exactly 3:17 a.m., I still wake up. And I still hear it breathing. It started when I moved to a small village near the edge of the forest. I had just taken a teaching job there. The village was quiet, too quiet, the kind of place where even dogs don't bark at night. I rented an old house at the very end of a narrow mud road. It was cheap, suspiciously cheap. When I asked the landlord why, he just said, "People don't stay long." I laughed. I shouldn't have. The house was large but empty. Wooden floors, high ceilings, long hallway, and at the end of that hallway, a locked door. The landlord told me, "Don't open that room. It's just storage." That should have been my first warning. But I didn't ask questions. I was tired. I just wanted peace. The first night was normal. The second night wasn't. At exactly 3:17 a.m., I woke up. Not because of a sound, but because of silence. You know that feeling when the air changes, when everything feels wrong. That's what it felt like. Then I heard it creak, the sound of wood stretching, like the house was shifting its weight. I told myself it was old wood. Old houses make noises. Right. The third night, it got worse. 3:17 a.m. This time I didn't wake up naturally. Something pulled my blanket. Not hard, just a slow, gentle tug. I froze. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. My room door was slightly open. And from the hallway, I heard footsteps. Slow, dragging. One step, pause. Another step, pause. They stopped right outside my door. And then, tap, tap, tap. 3 knocks. Soft, deliberate. I grabbed my phone. No signal. Of course. The next morning, I checked the hallway. Nothing. But the locked door at the end had scratch marks. Fresh ones. Like someone had tried to get out. From the inside. I went to the landlord that day. I asked him directly, what happened in that house? He avoided my eyes. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. No one died in that house. I didn't ask if someone died. That night, I decided to stay awake. I sat on my bed. Lights on. Phone recording. 2:50 a.m. Nothing. 3:10 a.m. Still nothing. 3:16 a.m. The lights flickered. And at exactly 3:17, all the lights went out. Pitch darkness. But I could hear it clearly now. Breathing. Deep. Slow. Not from the hallway. From the walls. Like the entire house had lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then, a whisper. Right next to my ear. You opened it. My heart stopped. I never opened that locked door. I swear. The next morning, the locked door was wide open. I know I didn't open it. I know. I walked slowly toward it. Inside, there was no furniture. No boxes. Nothing. Just walls covered in writing. The same sentence written over and over again. He lives in the walls. Thousands of times. Different handwriting. Different sizes. Some written with pen. Some scratched into the wood. Some written in something dark brown. I didn't need to smell it to know what it was. And in the center of the room, there was a small hole in the wall, about the size of a fist. And from inside that hole, I felt air, warm air, breathing. That night, I tried to leave. I packed my bags. I got in my car. But the engine wouldn't start. Battery dead. It was working perfectly that morning. When I looked up, all the lights in the house were on. Every single window glowing. Like it was awake. Like it knew. 3:17 a.m. I was sitting in my car. Then I saw movement in the upstairs window. A shadow. Tall. Too tall. Its head almost touching the ceiling. It didn't move like a person. It twitched, jerking unnaturally. And then its head slowly turned toward me. Even from outside, I knew it was smiling. Suddenly my car doors locked. By themselves. The horn started blaring. Lights flashing. And from inside the house, all the lights went out at once. Darkness swallowed it. But the upstairs window still had that shadow. And then it was gone. The car engine started on its own. I didn't wait. I drove. I never looked back. The next day, I called the landlord. His number was disconnected. When I went back to the village, the house wasn't there. I'm not joking. The road was there. The trees were there. But the house, gone. Like it never existed. When I asked the villagers, they looked confused. There was never a house there. I thought I escaped. I was wrong. Because now, wherever I live, at exactly 3:17 a.m., I wake up, and I hear breathing. Not from the walls. From under my bed. Slow. Patient. Waiting. And sometimes, very softly, 3 knocks. Tap, tap, tap. So if you ever wake up at 3:17 a.m., and you hear breathing, don't look under your bed. Because once you see it, it follows you home.